Chosen ones, I want you to hear this with every fiber of your being. You are standing on the very edge of a life-changing breakthrough. You may have felt the weight of delay, the sting of disappointment, and the restlessness of knowing you were meant for more. There have been moments when you wondered if your prayers reached heaven, if your tears meant anything, or if your dreams had been overlooked. But I'm here to tell you without a shadow of doubt that you are one step away from unstoppable abundance. Not a vague promise, not a mere glimmer of hope, but an unshakable reality that is already unfolding for you. Pause for a second and take a deep breath, because I want you to feel the shift happening in your spirit right now. This is not just another motivational speech. This is a divine appointment. The very fact that you are listening to these words in this moment is the sign you've been waiting for. When God orchestrates a shift in your life, things that seemed impossible suddenly become possible. Doors that remained shut for years begin to swing wide open. Resources and opportunities align in ways you could never orchestrate on your own. And though your natural eyes might not yet see the full picture, your spirit knows that something is about to break wide open. I need you to understand that abundance is not just about money or material gain. True abundance is a state of overflowing in every area of your life, your relationships, your health, your peace of mind, your spiritual walk, and yes, your finances too. It's waking up each morning with a confidence that no matter what happens, you have more than enough to fulfill your purpose. It's entering every room knowing that you carry a presence capable of shifting the atmosphere. It's the quiet assurance that the one who began a good work in you will surely complete it. Many of you have been struggling in silence, wondering if you somehow missed your destiny. You see others moving ahead, doors opening for them, and you question why your moment hasn't arrived. But let me tell you something. God's timing is perfect. A delay is not a denial. Sometimes He orchestrates a pause because He's preparing you to handle a greater blessing than you initially asked for. Sometimes He withholds certain doors because they would have distracted you from your true call. And sometimes, dear chosen ones, He allows you to reach the end of your own strength so that when the breakthrough does come, you'll know it's by His hand and not yours. I want you to envision yourself on a narrow path, a single step away from crossing into a land of promise. That next step looks like faith, like a courageous decision, to believe that everything you've been through is leading you to something far bigger than you imagined. This is not the time to shrink back. This is the time to press in. Sometimes the greatest resistance comes right before the biggest blessing. The enemy of your soul would love nothing more than to see you quit on the threshold of your miracle. But you were not created to quit. You were created to conquer. Type 777 in the comments if you feel that stirring, that undeniable sense that you're on the verge of something mighty. By typing 777, you're declaring in faith that you are stepping forward, refusing to be held back by fear, past failures, or the opinions of others. You are sealing this moment as a turning point, marking the spot where hope sparked into blazing conviction. Chosen ones, think about the story of the Israelites standing at the Jordan River, peering into the Promised Land. Their destiny was only a few steps away, but there was still a river to cross, still battles to fight, still giants in the land. Yet God had already declared that the land was theirs. They just had to trust enough to take that step. So many times we stand in view of our promise, but hesitate, because the challenges look too big. But if the dream in your heart is from God, then He has already guaranteed the victory. You just have to align yourself with His word, His plan, and His timing. I believe that for many of you, the biggest giant to conquer is not out there, it's right inside. It's the mindset that whispers, "You're not good enough. You've made too many mistakes. You don't have the resources. Who do you think you are to dream this big?" But I say to you, your past does not define you. Your failures are not fatal. And you do not need to be qualified by the standards of this world when heaven has already qualified you. When David stood before Goliath, he didn't have the armor or the training that others thought were necessary, but he had the anointing, and that was more than enough. Some of you are on the brink of financial transformation. Maybe you've prayed for years for a breakthrough, but nothing seems to shift. Maybe you've given and sown seeds, yet your harvest hasn't arrived. Do not let disappointment blind you to what God is about to do. Sometimes the miracle happens in a moment, like the widow's oil that didn't run dry. Sometimes it happens gradually, like the crops that grow seed by seed, day by day, until one morning you see the fullness of the harvest. Either way, God is faithful to provide. And remember, true riches include peace and purpose, not just a bank balance. Lift your chin, square your shoulders, and dare to believe that you deserve to walk in abundance. Yes, you. Even if you've made mistakes, even if you feel unworthy, grace is a gift, not a transaction. God doesn't bless you because you are perfect. He blesses you because you are His. As you receive that truth deep into your spirit, you'll find that confidence begins to swell inside you like a mighty wave. You'll speak differently, think differently, and act differently, because you'll know that lack is no longer your portion. Now, I want you to do something practical. Take a moment to look around your life and identify where you see glimpses of abundance right now, no matter how small. It could be a supportive friend, an unexpected check, an opportunity that came your way, or even just the gift of health and the ability to dream. Start magnifying that in your mind. Gratitude is the language of increase. When you appreciate what you already have, you open the door for more to flow in. This is not just a feel-good cliche, it's a spiritual principle. God multiplies what you bless, so if you bless your current situation with gratitude, He expands it beyond your wildest hopes. Some of you may be waiting for a huge sign or a massive miracle before you move forward. But often God gives you a seed and waits to see if you'll plant it. If you keep waiting for the perfect conditions, you might miss the window of opportunity. Just like a farmer who plants in faith before the rains come, you too must plant seeds of action, faith, and obedience, trusting that the rain of favor is on its way. Do what you can with what you have right now, and watch how God breathes on it to make it grow. I sense that many are on the cusp of breakthroughs in relationships, careers, businesses, and creative endeavors. You've been standing at the edge, not fully stepping in because you're afraid of failure or rejection. But what if that fear is the very thing standing between you and the unstoppable abundance meant for you? Sometimes you just have to close your eyes, take a deep breath, and leap. Faith is spelled R-I-S-K. If you play it safe all your life, you will never know what might have been. And let me assure you, heaven is cheering you on, longing for you to take the step that unlocks a whole new realm of possibility. Type 777 if you're ready to leap, to close the gap between where you are and where you are destined to be. Every time you type that number, remind yourself that you are one step away from unstoppable abundance, that everything you need for the journey is already placed within you, and that you are more powerful than the challenges you face. Giants might be in the land, but you are a giant slayer. You might wonder, how do I sustain this state of expectancy? How do I make sure I don't slide back into old patterns of doubt? The key is to feed your faith consistently. Surround yourself with voices that uplift rather than tear down. Listen to messages of hope, read stories of transformation, and spend time in prayer and reflection, aligning your heart with God's promises. Just as you wouldn't skip meals and expect to stay energized physically, you can't skip spiritual nourishment and expect your faith to stay strong. There is a story about a man whose home was flooded, and he waited on the roof for God to rescue him. A rowboat came by, then a motorboat, then a helicopter, but he waved them away each time, insisting that God himself would deliver him. When he drowned, he asked God why he didn't save him, and God replied, "I sent you 2 boats and a helicopter. What more were you waiting for?" Don't miss the rescue that God is sending your way, because it doesn't look like the miracle you picture. Sometimes that phone call, that person you meet by chance, that new job opening, or that idea that won't leave your mind is the exact means by which he's delivering you. You're just one step away. Don't overlook the step because it seems too small or too ordinary. Let this sink in. Unstoppable abundance means nothing can block the flow of blessing that's earmarked for your life except for your own disbelief or reluctance. Imagine a powerful river forging its way through a valley. Rocks might slow it down temporarily, branches might get caught in the current, but eventually the river moves everything aside. That's how divine favor operates. It may face obstacles, but it cannot be permanently stopped. The question is, will you build a dam of doubt? Or will you let that river flow freely in and through your life? Some of you have built walls around your heart because of past hurt or betrayal. You think you're protecting yourself from being let down again, but in reality, you might be blocking out the very blessings meant for you. Healing is key to abundance. Ask God to mend those wounds, to replace your heart of stone with a heart of flesh, tender yet strong in faith. When you open your heart, not only do you become capable of receiving more, but you also become a vessel through which blessings flow to others. That is the essence of unstoppable abundance. It's not just for you, it's meant to spill over and touch lives around you. The enemy of your soul wants to keep you locked in a cycle of fear and self-doubt. He knows that a believer who truly grasps their identity and authority in Christ becomes a force of unstoppable impact. But you are breaking that cycle today. You are waking up to the reality of who you are, a co-heir with Christ, a royal priesthood, a person endowed with gifts and dreams that are needed in this world. The same Spirit that raised Jesus from the dead lives in you. That power can resurrect dead dreams, dissolve addictions, restore broken relationships, and yes, release financial miracles too. This is the kind of faith that turns heads, that makes people curious about your God. They'll see something in your eyes, a gleam of hope that defies logic. They'll notice you standing calm in the midst of a storm, confident when everyone else is in panic mode. This unshakable faith will naturally lead you to unstoppable abundance, because faith aligns you with heaven's economy where there is no lack. Instead of being overwhelmed by the trials of the world, you become the one carrying solutions and strategies birthed in the throne room of grace. Type 777 if you sense the lion inside you roaring to life. That roar is the sound of chains breaking, of generational curses being dismantled, and of fear losing its grip on your mind. The lion within you is the boldness of a surrendered heart, a heart that knows who its maker is and what he has promised. You are not a beggar at the gate of life. You are an heir to the kingdom. Let that truth marinate in your soul until it shifts the way you speak, the way you walk, and the way you pray. Some might ask, is it really God's will for me to prosper? The short answer is yes. But prosperity in God's kingdom is not always about private jets and mansions, though He may choose to bless you materially. Kingdom prosperity is the fullness of living out your divine assignment, with all the resources you need to do it well, leaving behind a legacy that draws people closer to the source of all blessings. It's about having enough to meet your needs and overflow into the needs of others. It's about positioning yourself as a distributor of His grace, not just a consumer. Take a moment to reflect on how far you've come, even in seasons where you felt stagnant. Every challenge you've faced has helped forge your character. Every heartbreak has taught you compassion. Every betrayal has led you to discernment. Every setback has ignited a deeper hunger for something real, something lasting. None of it has been wasted. God is weaving it all into a tapestry that will testify of His faithfulness. When unstoppable abundance manifests in your life, people will see the threads of your story and marvel at how it all came together for good. Will you let Him finish what He started? So many give up right before the moment of victory because the pressure intensifies. Remember, the enemy often fights the hardest when he knows something massive is on the other side. If you feel the pressure building, don't cave in. Press harder into God's promises, speak them aloud, decree them over your life, and walk in the authority given to you. The darkest night can't stop the sunrise, and no force in hell can stop what God has ordained in your life, if you stand in faith. Type 77711 one more time. If you're in agreement that your story is shifting toward the miraculous, that the chapter of barely getting by is closing, and the chapter of unstoppable abundance is about to begin, let this moment be a milestone you'll look back on and say, that was when everything started turning around. That was when I took the final step into the land of promise. I want you to picture yourself a year from now, living in the reality you've prayed for. Imagine the peace, the provision, the meaningful connections, the sense of purpose coursing through your veins. Now bring that vision into the present. Start acting, speaking, and thinking like that person right now. Because faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. As you embody the future you hope for, you create a runway for that future to land. This is not wishful thinking. This is partnering with heaven's blueprint for your life. I'm speaking specifically to the dreamers who have felt the fire in their bellies for years but have never fully stepped out. You've been waiting for a perfect time or a perfect sign. Here it is. The call to move is now. That business idea, that ministry, that project to help your community, start laying the groundwork. Do not worry about who is or isn't supporting you. God will bring the right people at the right time. Do not worry about the finances. He can bring water from a rock if He needs to. Just take the next step. That single act of obedience can unlock a domino effect of favor. You are not alone in this. There is a company of like-minded believers who sense the same urgency in the Spirit, who know that now is the time to rise. We are witnessing a global shift, a changing of the guard, where those who have been hidden away, faithfully nurturing their gifts, are about to be propelled onto platforms they never dreamed possible. This is not for ego's sake, it's for kingdom impact. The world needs your voice, your perspective, your testimony. Will you answer the call? Or will you hide your light under a bushel? Let the story of Esther inspire you, an orphan girl who became queen for such a time as this. She was catapulted to influence not for her personal luxury, but to save her people. In the same way, your abundance will serve a higher purpose. Yes, it will bless your household, but it will also extend beyond you, breaking chains for others, changing lives and pointing them to a God who loves extravagantly. There is a divine transaction happening right now, a holy exchange where God takes your ashes and gives you beauty, takes your mourning and gives you joy, takes your despair and clothes you with praise. This exchange is part of stepping into unstoppable abundance because it's hard to receive when your arms are full of the past. Let go. Release the bitterness, the regrets, the what-ifs, and open your arms to the new. Type 777 to confirm that you are releasing the old and stepping into the new. Let your heart ascend to a place of thanksgiving, because gratitude is the gateway to every good gift. The more you thank God for what you do have, the more He multiplies it. Think of the loaves and fishes. Jesus gave thanks and they multiplied to feed thousands. That's a snapshot of what gratitude does. It expands your capacity to receive miracles. As you move forward, keep your ears tuned to the still, small voice that guides you. Sometimes you'll experience a gentle nudge in your heart. Other times a verse of scripture will leap off the page. And still other times circumstances will align so clearly that you know it's God's hand. Obedience to these prompts becomes the path to unstoppable abundance. If He says sow, you sow. If He says move, if He says wait, you wait. Each act of obedience is a building block for your destiny. One of the greatest barriers to abundance is unresolved offense or unforgiveness. Holding grudges can clog your pipeline of blessing. Forgiveness is not about excusing wrong behavior, it's about liberating your own soul from the chains of bitterness. When you let go of offense, you clear the way for blessings to flow freely. Keep your heart pure, your spirit light, and your mind focused on higher things. Some might ask, isn't it selfish to want more? That depends on your motive. If your heart's desire is to hoard wealth or exalt yourself, that's not kingdom abundance. But if you desire more so you can do more for the glory of God, then you're aligned with His heart. He is a God of multiplication from Genesis to Revelation. He multiplied oil for a widow, seed for Isaac, strength for Samson, and grace for Paul. Multiplication is His nature. When you walk in step with Him, multiplication becomes your portion. That's why unstoppable abundance is more than a catchy phrase. It's a divine reality for those who dare to believe. If you will stand firm, if you will heed the voice of the Spirit, if you will guard your heart against cynicism, then no giant, no adversity, and no limitation can hold you back. You might go through battles, but you will emerge stronger each time. You might go through tears, but joy will come in the morning. Nothing can stop the plan of God for your life except your own unwillingness to walk in it. Let your spirit soar with anticipation. Feel your faith stretching wide to embrace this next level. Yes, there will be challenges, but the presence of challenges only confirms you're moving forward. If you never encountered resistance, you'd never become stronger. The eagle learns to ride the turbulence of the storm to reach higher altitudes. Likewise, every adversity you face can serve as a launchpad for your ascent. Type 777, to agree that every obstacle will become a stepping stone, that every storm will propel you higher, and that unstoppable abundance is not just a possibility, but an inevitable outcome when you merge faith with action. This is your moment to rise, to say yes to the call, and to step fully into the life you were destined to live. I can feel faith rising in the atmosphere, tearing down the walls of doubt and rewriting the narrative of your life. As you cling to this conviction, watch how your external circumstances begin to shift. Don't be surprised if phone calls start coming in, if unexpected checks arrive, if new relationships form that open strategic doors. These are not coincidences, these are divine orchestrations. When your heart aligns with heaven, heaven aligns with your heart's desires. Let's talk for a moment about the power of words. The Bible says that life and death are in the power of the tongue. How often have you spoken lack over your life, saying things like, "I'll never make it," or "I can't afford that," or "That's impossible"? Each negative statement fortifies a stronghold in your mind. But today you can break that pattern. Begin declaring, "I have more than enough. Doors of favor are opening for me. I am blessed and I am one step away from my greatest season yet." These declarations might feel strange at first, but you're literally reprogramming your mind to expect abundance rather than anticipate failure. Remember, unstoppable abundance isn't a free pass to laziness. It's an invitation to partner with God in your destiny. You still show up, you still put in the work, but you do so from a place of assurance that as you do your part, God will do what only He can do. This partnership is the key. Imagine a farmer who diligently tends his fields but relies on rain from the heavens. That's you. You prepare, you plant, and you trust that the rain of favor will fall. Chosen ones, the step you take today, whether it's launching that idea, forgiving that person, sowing that seed, or simply choosing to believe again, could be the hinge on which your entire future swings. You are that close. One step. Don't let fear of the unknown rob you of a destiny filled with wonders you've yet to see. You were born for greatness. The seeds of that greatness have been planted in you from the moment you took your first breath. Now is the time for them to sprout and bear fruit. Type 777 if you're ready to see those seeds flourish into a harvest of unstoppable abundance. Each time you do, remind yourself that this is not just a momentary burst of inspiration, but a lifestyle of living from the inside out, drawing on the infinite supply of God's grace and favor. Let your eyes sparkle with anticipation for what's coming, because your best days are not behind you. They are ahead, waiting to be claimed. Some of you might feel alone in this pursuit, but I assure you, you are never alone. Not only is God with you, but He has also placed people in your path who will cheer you on. Sometimes it's a family member, sometimes a friend, sometimes a mentor you haven't even met yet. Keep your heart open to divine connections. You never know which conversation can alter the trajectory of your life. As you approach this threshold, be mindful of the legacy you're building. Unstoppable abundance isn't just for you, it's for the generations that come after you. Your children and grandchildren should inherit not just material wealth, but also a legacy of faith, courage, and purpose. You are paving a path for them, demonstrating what it looks like to trust God in the midst of a world that often encourages fear and greed. If at any point you feel doubt creeping back in, revisit these words. Revisit the truth of Scripture and revisit your personal history of how far you've already come. You'll be reminded that you didn't make it this far by accident. There is a divine hand at work, guiding you step by step, and if you will remain flexible in His hands, He will shape you into a vessel that can contain and pour out unthinkable blessings. That step you're about to take, maybe it's a risk you've been hesitating on, a decision you've been putting off, or a dream you've been too timid to chase. Let it be a statement of faith that says, I trust you, Lord, with my future. I believe that unstoppable abundance is my inheritance. As you do, watch how the Spirit breathes new life into every aspect of your existence. Watch how ideas come, how solutions form, how relationships blossom. Type 777 once again, not as a repetitive ritual, but as a bold exclamation of your unwavering belief that you are indeed one step away from unstoppable abundance. Let that number become your faith anchor, a symbol of completion and divine perfection. As you type it, visualize every wall of limitation crumbling around you, every barrier dissolving, every blockage removed. You are free to run into your destiny without hindrance. It's time to relinquish the label of almost and step into the realm of already. You're not almost blessed, you already are. You're not almost an overcomer, you are one right now. Shift your language accordingly. Don't say, I'm trying to step into abundance. Declare, I am stepping into abundance right now, this very moment. That might be the difference between staying stuck another year or catapulting into new levels of fulfillment and provision. Feel the electricity of that statement buzzing in your chest. The present tense is powerful because it grounds your faith in the reality of now. God exists outside of time, and your destiny is already established from His perspective. The moment you align your words with His eternal truth, you collapse the distance between your present situation and your future manifestation. If you've been carrying guilt or shame, thinking those disqualify you from receiving abundance, lay them at the foot of the cross. Christ died to remove every barrier between you and the Father's love. Your only qualification is to accept that grace. You are worthy because He made you worthy. You are blessed because He has blessed you with every spiritual blessing. Don't let condemnation steal from you what has already been secured by divine promise. Some might say, "But you don't know my struggles, my debts, my failures." You're right, I don't. But I know the God who provides manna in the wilderness, who sends ravens to feed His prophet, who pours oil into empty vessels until there are no more containers left. That same God sees you. He knows exactly what you need, and He has a million ways to get it to you, ways you can't even imagine. But you must take that one step of faith, that one surrender, that single bold move that releases the flow. Type 777 if you can sense the presence of a God who is bigger than every mountain, who overshadow your yesterdays with mercy, and is lighting up your tomorrows with hope. Yes, you are one step away. Let your heart feast on that truth. Let your mind be renewed by it daily. Let your language reflect it, your decisions align with it, and your prayers echo it. This is where unstoppable abundance becomes more than a phrase. It becomes the atmosphere you carry. I invite you to look at your current challenges not as punishments or dead ends, but as stepping stones and training grounds. Every lion and bear that David faced prepared him to confront Goliath. Every heartbreak you've endured has prepared you to cherish real love. Every financial hardship you've navigated has positioned you to handle greater wealth with integrity. Every sickness you've battled has made you value health on a deeper level. Nothing is wasted in God's economy. Stand tall, breathe deeply, and take that step. Your destiny is calling you by name. You didn't stumble upon this message by accident. You were guided here by divine orchestration for this exact moment to remind you of who you are and what lies ahead. The old is gone, the new has come, and unstoppable abundance is not just a distant hope. It is your new normal. Keep your spirit open, keep your eyes on the promise, and refuse to settle. Let nothing deter you from crossing that threshold. You might feel the intimidation of the unknown, but remember, God is the one who carves rivers in the desert and splits seas to make dry paths. He'll do the miraculous for you too, if you dare to trust. You are one step away from stepping into a reality where blessings chase you, where favor surrounds you, and where provision is as certain as the sunrise. Type 777 now, and let heaven witness your commitment to move forward. Let your own soul hear that declaration, for faith comes by hearing. This is the kind of faith that rattles the gates of hell, that causes mountains to move, that transforms hearts of stone into vessels of compassion. You are part of a generation that will demonstrate that God is still in the business of miracles, that the impossible is possible for those who believe. Chosen ones, you are on the cusp of your promised land. Feel the electricity of that statement surge through your body. Smile in anticipation of what's to come. Look around at the dryness of the desert you may have been walking through and proclaim, "Streams will flow here in the name of the Lord." Your words have power. Use them to create the environment for your breakthrough. No matter where you are in life, whether on the mountaintop or in the valley, this promise of unstoppable abundance remains. Because abundance is not dependent on external circumstances, it's rooted in the God who never changes. He is the fountain of life, and those who drink from His water will never thirst again. That thirst includes the thirst for validation, for significance, for material security. When you have Him, you have it all, and that fullness manifests outwardly. Rise up, take courage, and do what you must do. The clock is ticking, but not against you. Rather, it's ushering you into your divinely appointed season. When the fullness of time arrives, no power can hold back what God has decreed. Align yourself with that fullness. Say yes to the assignment, yes to the future, yes to unstoppable abundance. This yes will echo through the corridors of eternity, forever marking this moment as the day everything changed. If you want me to continue, let me know. If not, stay in this atmosphere of faith, keep revisiting these words, and let them transform your heart and mind. You are one step away. Take it. The world awaits the manifestation of what God has placed in you. Don't delay, don't shrink back. The time is now.